Everything beats a zero.
We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be.
Hello. Happy Saturday. Hello, everyone. I am Carolyn. You're in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. And today we will be talking vegan, transitioning. Those are the things that we are going to be talking about today. So thank you all so much for joining us here today. We are, again, like I said, how to transition to vegan diet. Okay. Vegan grocery list. We got to know what we're buying when we're going into the stores, right? And then your pantry staples, those things that you absolutely need to have in your pantry as you are going through this transition. You're going to need it. Okay. So Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here so we can get it started. Grand Rising to you.
Grand Rising to you also. And Grand Rising to people that don't like to say Grand Rising. I'm really great to be here. And let's go ahead. We got a lot of stuff to do. Carrie, you look great. It's good to see you, ready to go. Let's get it on, everybody. Wake up, and let's contribute by making sure you ask your questions down in the comments, okay? So I want to go ahead and we'll get started, okay? So we start off with the first thing. We're just like Kara said, we were transitioning to a vegan lifestyle, and one of the things that we should understand as we are transitioning is that, if you've been thinking about going vegan, but you feel overwhelmed, well, I got some good news for you. Okay, you don't have to go 100% overnight, and most people don't. So a vegan grocery list, again, something that is one of the many tools that you can use. And a grocery list, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. And some people got this perfection thing. Yeah, I'm going to check off everything in one day. I'm going to become a vegan overnight. But by focusing on one plant-based, um, well, I shouldn't say just one. Let's look at it like, if you just focus on whole or the plant-based foods, the whole food plant-based or plant-based foods, you might hear it interchangeably used, and incorporating a variety of ingredients is what's going to be some of your wonderful experiences. Because for sure, when you eat the plant-based foods, you're going to spread out. You're going to eat a little more than you have. You have more variety. And now, whether you're meal prepping for the week, or if you're making quick dinners or experimenting with new flavors, this the list that you can make for your shopping list should be include delicious and nourishing foods. Now, why should you even go vegan? Because vegan, and I'm not here to, I don't work for the Vegan Association, or I am coming to you as a person that um, is giving you some ideas as you go through. Some of us are still out there. We want to do better. Yeah, believe it or not, right? But it's great to have people that want to do better. And because, what's the largest um, room in the universe is the room for improvement. Yeah. So let's keep that in mind. So why go vegan? Again, the health benefits right on the top of the mind, the top of the list. It should be this should be as far as your health benefits, because you get lower cholesterol, you get better heart health, and better digestion and more energy. Another thing that we get would be animal welfare. Now, animal welfare means that less harm to animals. And then we have three. And let me just stop for a minute, because some folks, they have dogs and cats and other pets. And when we say that, or they'll hear animal welfare, they kind of like, they're like, I'll eat cow and goat and sheep and llama or whatever else people eat as far as the food goes, but they'll say, no, I wouldn't eat my dog. But some people would eat the dog if that's something that becomes common. So the animal welfare is super important. Remember, less harm to animals. And then you have environment, reduce the carbon footprint. It takes so much to feed the cattle that we end up eating on a daily basis. And we're talking about over 350 million people in America alone. Now, the weight management is really important, because many people actually find that it's easier to maintain a healthier weight. A healthier weight is what we're looking for. If you're a man and you have over 44 inches in the waist, then you're increasing your risk for disease and illness. If you're a female and you're over 40 inches, and these, I'm talking about some of the common, I'm not talking about some of the maybe professionals like basketball players or football players or other athletes. There's a little more room, leniency there, because their bodies operate on more calories. They take in, they need more muscle, they need more energy, and they need the foods to provide that. So let's keep that in mind. Now, you don't need to buy every vegan product in the store. You just start simple and build your staples, and test, explore. One or two items at least, per week. Before long, you'll just have some go-tos. You get used to them, and you'll start building up your favorite meals. Going plant-based doesn't mean that you have to be overwhelmed with all these new foods, because they're just making a few changes here and there. So here are some things you can do. Let's put this down as how you get started. Number one is the making just your breakfast vegan for the first week. Making just breakfast vegan. So that's for your first week. You want to go all the way through the week and just make your breakfast vegan. And then you slowly add in the few plant-based lunches and dinners the week after and those weeks that follow. Some easy vegan breakfast ideas include like oatmeal and fruit, and almond butter. You have avocado toast with the hemp seeds, or tofu scrambled with veggies and toast. Um, Once you feel that that starts to get easier, you can just build on that. You don't have to do everything overnight. And when you're looking at people that have been doing this for many years, over 30 years, this is just as common to them and just as normal to them as meat is to you. So the other thing that I would say, besides number one, and remember, you want to, number one is very important here, because it's easy. You just starting off with just your a breakfast meal. That's it. You just take it little at a time. Okay. I don't know who made up the saying, but the saying that, how do you eat an elephant? Well, the answer was, you eat the elephant one bite at a time. So I don't know, somebody else. I don't know who made that up, but you get the idea. Okay, but I want you to think about number two as a replacement. So you're replacing your dairy. You replace your dairy first. Dairy can be real sneaky, but it's also one of the easiest things to swap. So if you're swapping means, trading or replacing one for the other. Now you start with one dairy product at a time. You can switch to oat and soy and almond milk in your coffee. You can eat plant-based butter on your toast. You can use cashew cream or vegan cheese for your sauces. And as a bonus, there is an amazing dairy-free yogurt. Oh man, it's really good. I eat it quite frequently. I don't want to overdo it, just like anything else. But if you get the non-sweetened yogurt, because if not, then we're just adding more challenges to our eating. So the dairy-free yogurt is delicious, and the ice cream, which is also called the frozen desserts. All of these are good. So at least you won't feel like you left out, or you're so different that you've been ostracized. Then there's a point three: plan simple vegan dinners. Plan simple vegan dinners. Don't overcomplicate it, and make some easy vegan dinners. Like, you're already eating some things that are already vegan, but you can do simple stuff like stir fried with tofu and veggies over your rice. Smells good, looks good, tastes good, is good. And then you have your vegan chili with beans or corn, and corn, pasta and marinara. You have the what lentils with that, or your cashew cream. And if you already have favorite meals, just simply veganize them. Veganize the meaning that you use your plant-based meat and swap the cheese and skip the eggs. You can do that. It's very easy, and you'll be on your way. Number four would be the focus on your vegan foods that you already like. Chances are you already love some vegan friendly foods, like peanut butter, potatoes, pasta, fruit, rice, beans, veggie soups, guacamole, and the list goes on. But you're already eating in a vegan lifestyle way. And if you start with where you are, you'll find that it's not so overwhelming after all. Don't stress out about that perfect thing. Again, remember, practice makes automatic, and you'll get there. Here's the secret: there is no such thing as the perfect vegan. I don't care how, when you're talking to your friends or some your loved ones, and they so happen to be vegan, and they're telling you that, oh no, you don't do this, you don't do that, and you feel turned off. But remember, there is no perfect vegan. It's okay to slip up every now and then, because that is a part of growing. That's a part of learning. Every plant-based choice makes a difference. So these plant-based choices makes a difference for animals. It makes a difference for your health, and it makes a big difference for the planet. Um, Now, it might seem that I'm just like I'm propagating veganism, and to a degree I am, but I'm not representing any special clubs or anything. I just want you to know that you have options. You don't have to eat turkey just because it's Thanksgiving, or you don't have to eat ribs just because you're out at the park. So there's things that we do traditionally, and we continue to do these things, and they'll continue to happen, and you won't see any change until you change. And one of the best vegan transition tips I could give you was to create a short list to go to the short list of your go-to list, so, or your go-to meals, and you can make stuff anytime. You can start off with three breakfasts, and then those are some three that's easy to make. You want to write those down, and then for your largest meal, which I suggest that you eat your largest meal in the middle of your day, not shortly before you go to bed. Make sure that you're eating from your list. You got three breakfasts, and then you have three so-called lunches. But we're going to say the lunches are your largest meals. Okay, so well, I'm going to use both of those so that you'll understand where I am and I can understand where you are. Number three, three dinners. So you want three breakfasts, three lunches, and three dinners. Dinner should be the smallest meal that you're eating. You should not pack on the food and then go to bed shortly after, even if it is 4 hours. Okay. And then you want to also have a few snacks. Now, this takes the guesswork out of eating and it helps to build confidence in the kitchen. You got three breakfasts, three lunches, three dinners, and you can start moving those around. And now you're putting your eating lifestyle in order. You have organization with that. So fantastic. Now, one of the things that with breakfast you want to like what you can eat as a vegan, I should say, and this is like a sample day. You start off with breakfast, again, and you have like overnight oats with chia seeds, banana, and almond milk. For your lunch or your largest meal, you can have chickpea salad or a chickpea sandwich. You can have fruit as a side dish there. And then you can take a little break, hummus. You can make your own hummus, by the way. You don't have to buy. But if you don't have time and you don't have the skill yet, what you can do is just purchase it from one of those Trader Joe's or Sprouts, so forth. Um, and that was hummus and carrots. Just chop them up, nice and fresh, real easy. And you know what? When it first starts off, you're going to like eat something, and when you eat something, it's going to be like, yeah, I don't like this. Because you're not giving it enough time for you to become familiar with it. I want to make that clear. It's going to taste different than what you're used to eating. Now, sometimes you will get that lucky. You'll choose something that's already delicious from the first bite. But there will be some foods that you'll eat and you're like, no, I'm not feeling it. Now, when it comes to your dinner, like the rice bowl and black beans, these are small portions and small portions of avocado, roasted sweet potatoes. And I would say if you're eating these foods small amount because they really pack a lot of calories, which mean a lot of energy. And when it comes to your dessert, back to the dairy-free desserts, the dairy-free frozen desserts, and you'll start getting into more of look how simple this is. I can make my own banana ice cream, or I can make my own dairy free chocolate. So all of that is the super important when you um, are making such a huge change when it comes to eating. We're going to go back to the studio. Carrie, you on? Oh, okay. We'll wait for Kara to get. Oh, Kara. Okay, you're
There it is. My apologies. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. I was clicking every button like, I wasn't ready, but now I am.
okay.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much, everyone. Dr. Zarif, you mentioned starting out with switching your dairy out first, right?
Yes.
And like the baby steps that you would take. And I agree with that because that's something that, like you say, when you add like the creamer and things like that, people really don't notice that it actually changed so much, So that's something that I agree with. Whenever you said switching out and making sure that you're changing the small things um, to help with the transitioning. It's not always going to be the same. Some things may even taste better. It's a little more creamier. Especially like the what is it? Oat milk. That's the one that I really like. The oat
Yeah.
um, substitute as far as with milk, and then the Mayoko. I always like that one too. Mayoko is a really good dairy free butter. They have butter, they have cream cheese, and other items too, like or actually I think they have cheese as well, but I really like Mayoko. So I just wanted to make sure I said that because it does help. It really does help whenever we're doing the switching out. I wanted to go ahead and shout some people out if that's okay.
Of course.
Okay. Shanizi, good morning. Good morning. Says, good morning, Miss Shirley Smart and everyone. I'm enjoying the rain this morning. Oh, yes. Enjoying the rain as well. Allison Gentle, good morning, family.
Hey,
Getting ready.
family.
Hello, hello. Getting ready for church. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us while you are getting ready. Hey, Sherry G. Smart. Happy Saturday to you. Happy Saturday.
Shelly. Woohoo.
Yes, yes, yes. Yolanda Rogers, good morning.
Big
Bless
Mama.
yes, Big Mama, Dearborn, Michigan. Thank you so much for joining. We really do appreciate it. Today we are discussing transitioning to a vegan lifestyle. So that is what we are talking about, and just great tips, Dr. Zarif. Also, you mentioned it will taste different. Some things are going to taste different um, from what you're used to. And I say, in regards to that, that's where that mindset or the thought of why you chose to switch in the first place. That's where that really comes in. Because it's like, all right, this don't taste good. I don't want to do this anymore, kind of thing. I want that thing that I used to have. But then you think about it, like what caused you to change in the first place? Because I know I remember my mom. She makes fried fish. Okay, and I really like the fried fish. And I remember usually it was always like tradition for my mom to do the fried fish, and we'll do rice and beans, right? Um, and she would usually do it on a what was it, Good Friday. She would usually do it on Good Friday. That's when she did other times too, but for sure on Good Friday. So I remember there was a Good Friday. I was like, oh, I know they're gonna be eating some fried fish. Oh, it's gonna be so good. And what I did was I got some kiwi, and not kiwi, seaweed. I got some seaweed, the seaweed pack, um, and it tastes like fish. It gives your food that fish flavor, and I was able to satisfy the urge of the fish that I would have had usually on Good Friday, but I was able to at least satisfy the urge or that taste that I know I would have had. So it's not exactly the same, but it definitely came close enough for me to say, okay, I'm good with that. So it's not going to always be the exact same, but again, why you switched is going to be the main thing, and then just kind of knowing that things are going to get a little bit different, different, but just hold on to that thought of being able to continue with the journey that you started off with.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you start to finish.
Hmm.
Don't have the attitude of if I don't like it, I'm spitting it out. Give your body a chance to adjust. Sometimes, I mean, it's just like anything else. New shoes, sometimes you have to break those new shoes in. And if new car like me, I get a new car every month. And
Hmm.
no, I'm just playing. But you
And
know,
I'm here agreeing, like,
yeah, right. So, but I love the whole cars. Just the machine. That's the man in me. I just love that. But if you get a new one, there's things that where are the wipers? Where are the here's the emergency brake, or that's how you turn on the radio. Those kinds of things are going to come naturally. So the same thing with food. You just don't get something that you haven't ever eaten in your whole life and then just say, this is going to be great. This is what I'm going to switch to. It takes time and it takes patience.
yes, absolutely.
Now, I want to also give a shout out to Quizen Zen. That's Quizen underscore Zen is in the house over here in Instagram. There is definitely a big hello goes out to everybody on YouTube this morning. Thank you for joining us and all the wonderful our families. We thank you all because you are the backbone of the mind of nature.
Mhm.
So I want to ask you a question there, Carolyn. When, as far as like when you were uh, transitioning from eating meat and transitioning to whole food plant based, what was the hardest thing that what would you suggest to look out for if I'm transitioning from eating meat, fish, all the chicken, all that kind of stuff to vegan?
Um, the hardest thing I would say, it wasn't so much the meat, because I think like with the meat it's easy to see that that is meat, right? I did, however, really love me some oxtails. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, oxtails was that was I really liked eating oxtails. But when I decided to switch over, the hardest thing was making sure that what I was eating didn't have dairy in it, because a lot of stuff you don't realize that it may have cheese, or even the mayo may have eggs in there, things like that. So the challenge for me was just really making sure that I read the labels and it didn't have the things in there that I needed to, because it's so easy for you to make that mistake. So that can be the challenge, definitely with any dairy products.
That's true. That's why I said the dairy products are sneaky,
Hmm.
and they come in the form of things like it'll have something that may have lactose, or you'll see lack something, and you're like, what is that?
What is
You
it
know,
like?
and it's part of the responsibility that you have to yourself. See, the thing, the bottom line is that we're talking about reducing your risk of disease and illness. That's all we're talking about.
Hmm.
You can eat whatever you want to eat. Nobody's here, hammering this into your brain and say you got to stop eating meat. I don't want to say that I don't care, but I do want to say that it is worth your time in making the decision to eat in a way that increases your energy. If you it increases your ways to overcome disease, to abbreviate cold, sickness, flu, those kinds of things that humans get. Look at the long list of things that we can get as humans. Look at you can, I mean, you can name thousands of things that we can get as humans, and that means that can come from all sorts of situations, like the airborne bacteria or pathogens, foodborne pathogens. We have the different types of um, viruses, things that we don't even know, like, this whole so-called the 2020. If you look at some of the way that we were acting back in 2020, and we are covering up with masks and all of those things, it was out of, we didn't know, and I don't think that we know yet exactly what was happening when it comes down to the types of diseases that are out there, how easy these diseases are to contract, and what you should do to avoid those diseases. Instead, the you had people going to right away, like, you need to take this for that, and how are you going to take this for that and you don't even know what that is yet?
Right.
It's like, how are you going to tell me what I need to eat or drink, and you have no way to you have no idea, but let's name it COVID-19. And and this is going to really like it. That's because you got a name for it. That's going to make it easier. If you don't know, anyway, yeah, that's I don't want to go uh, too deep into that, but you get the message, and I would love to hear your comments also. Okay, uh,
Yes. I,
go ahead.
I would like to just share a comment here from Yolanda. Says meat has gotten scary. Impossible Burger, steak being put together in meat made in the lab is what changed me off meat. Is what she's saying.
Oh, good. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, there's a lot of meat that's been made also in the laboratory today. There or meat substitutes that are made in the laboratory. But look, if I just talk to you about yams and green onions, and I talk to you about black beans, pinto beans, azuki beans, mung beans, all of these things, and then you have chapati, you have all types of um, what is that called? I can't think of it right. Chutney is all of these different types of things that you can eat. Go out and color your dish with all the different types of lettuces and green leafy vegetables and delicious the red carrots, the white carrots, parsnips, or parsnips. That's the really those are some of the things that you can add to your plate. And you can make a juicy, delicious, whole food, plant based burger just like they can with the beef. That's you don't have to say, "Oh man, this ain't the same." If you've been eating that burger for 30 years and then you eat something different, sure, you're gonna say, this doesn't taste like that.
Hmm.
But it doesn't mean that your health, your overall health, is now any safer than it was before you start, experimenting. Eat the when you're eating these foods that don't have the chicken and the fish and all that other stuff in them, you can. This is science. You can reduce the chances or the risk of having certain diseases and illnesses. You can reduce it. Didn't say you won't die. Some people, I've been eating so good that I should be here another 200 years. First of all, the body isn't built to go that long.
Hmm.
Second of all, you probably would be bored out your mind how many times you can go around the world. I mean, there's things like that to keep in mind. So I'm going to go back to you. What is Yolanda saying?
Absolutely, she says you don't know what you're eating now. Try staying healthy while watching. Nutrition information is important.
Oh, that's great. Great news. Thank you for sharing that, Yolanda. That's you don't it's very and you brought up a good point that Yolanda is making also is that read the doggone labels.
Hmm.
At least read the labels.
Yes.
We don't know how much of that is even true, but we know that it'll give us some idea that may even spark the interest of finding out more about what we're eating. Not
Right.
just keep on filling up our tummies with stuff that we're not sure of.
Yes, absolutely. Because I know that, like, even now sometimes, and what's so funny is, even now sometimes when I choose something to eat, let's say I'm eating something and I'm like, "Ooh, this tastes good." For a quick second, you almost think, "Does this have milk in there? Does it have cheese?" So,
Right.
and sometimes, I mean, most of the times it's not. But if you make that mistake, then it's like, ah. But the point is, yes, definitely read those labels. Read them before you go like this.
Yes. Well, let's go ahead and continue, Care, and we're going to go ahead and continue to share here. I want to go a little bit back on the grocery list. So now the grocery list, the pantry basics, the must-haves for your refrigerator. All of these are important when it comes down to your grocery list. So start making your grocery list, even if you get 5 to 10 things on it for now. It's very important. It's a structured list of groceries, and they're essential for several reasons. One is to save time and money. So when we're talking about saving time and money, we're talking about being wise to choose the different foods that are again going to reduce the risk of disease and illness. So it saves time and money, and it saves you from being sick. It saves you from losing. Not being able to go and work, or not being able to go and study, not being able to teach, or even not being able to enjoy your daily explorations that we have for our lives, the way that we live. So saving time and money, shopping with a list that prevents the impulsivity. Impulsivity is like when you just, when you walk up to the cashier and you have all of those little food gum, and they might have toothpaste, or they might have a toothbrush, some toothpicks, candy, just stuff that you usually don't have on your list. Those are called impulsives, and it's just totally selling these off of being reactionary, just being reactionary. But if you as far as saving time and money, adding that under as an additional tip is this: shopping with a list that prevents impulsivity, and that's these impulsive purchases, and it helps you to stick to the budget. Let me tell you, when you walk in there, it's like walking into a casino, lights everywhere, and you buy this one and look at that one, and everything looks good. And especially if you go in and you're hungry, you start buying up everything, and because your mind is saying, "Ooh, buy this. That'll be delicious for tonight. This would be great for tonight. Ooh, you can eat this in the car." It goes on and on. Let's look at some other things when it comes to what you're putting on your grocery list. And that is, what I love is the fresh produce. Now, fresh produce that includes your fruit, your vegetables, because they're the foundations of your vegan diet, providing essential vitamins. They provide minerals, the antioxidants, and fiber. Now, if we talk about some of the vegetables, we need to know the names too. Some of the things you may already know, like lettuce. Everybody knows what lettuce is, but if you expand that, like I'll put it under leafy greens, for instance, and you start listing your spinach. You got baby spinach. You got some other different types of spinaches. For the most part, let's just say baby spinach. And then you have kale, arugula, you have romaine lettuce, and you have Swiss chard. All of those are really wonderful leafy greens. And then you have the cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. They all have in common are indoles. We'll get to that at another time. Root vegetables are delicious, and those are the ones that grow in the ground, and they are carrots, and they're sweet potatoes, the beets, and the turnips. I haven't had turnip greens in ages, but my mother used to cook the turnips. Then we have the nightshades. Now, nightshades are in a very particular but easy to remember section or category, because there's only a few things in there: the tomatoes, the bell peppers, and eggplants. Those are also in the nightshade category. You have squash, the butternut, and zucchini, acorn. You have all the different types of mushroom: portobello, crimini, shiitake, maitake. You have your onions, garlics, and leeks. These are three delicious uh, the vegetables that just makes food taste even better. Avocados, of course, for those healthy fats. And then you have the cucumber, celery, and radishes, and they help to make great, delicious salads. Now, when it comes to fruit, I always suggest fruits. I didn't say you couldn't eat them at all during the day or at night, because sometimes it is important if you have an especially a crave for something like a candy bar or a slice of cake or pie. Instead of doing that, you might want to take just berries. And I know that I've always suggested that you eat your fruit in the morning, because this is the food that helps you to get off to a wonderful start. But in the case that you are craving the sweets that some of us know what I'm talking about when it comes to a sweet tooth. Well, instead of eating those slices of pie and cake and donuts and all those other uh, sugary products, you want to eat berries. For strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. I would just say even take like your yogurt, non or unsweetened yogurt, everybody. I know it doesn't happen all the time, but you want to get that on the list. And you want to add your oranges and lemons, your limes. You want to add but your bananas. There's other things. You don't there's so many things that you don't even really have time to say, ugh, I don't like that. You have people that have so many idiosyncrasies, but you still have a lot to choose from. Okay? You still have a lot to choose from. So keep that in mind. There are also plant-based proteins. Now, these plant-based proteins, they're crucial to muscle maintenance. They're crucial to energy. They're crucial to your overall health. And thankfully, there are many vegan protein sources. So let's look at some. Start off with the legumes and beans. Uh, Sometimes, well, beans specific, sometimes everything is thrown into legumes. But for right now, let's call it legumes and beans. That's your lentils, your chickpeas. Chickpeas are the same bean as garbanzo beans. They're the same bean, just called something different, and they can be found around the world. Very delicious. Black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, navy beans. I started my Navy bean kick off in Detroit, Michigan, and this is where I was eating Navy beans. And as Big Mama, which is Yolanda Rogers, reminded us of, the bean pies that we used to eat all the time. And I used to make bean pies, and it was delicious. It was really, really great. Thanks for that again, Big Mama. Um, then the edamame beans. Edamame beans, usually eat those when they are young soybeans. That's all they are anyway. And then as they mature, then they're used in a different way. But edamame beans, as far as using it as a part of a salad, is definitely delicious. Your peas, your green peas, your split peas, tofu, tempeh, and seitan. All of these are different sources of plant protein. The tofu, the tempeh, and the seitan. Seitan, a lot of people haven't heard of tempeh and seitan. You hear tofu a lot because tofu is soybean curd. But let's say tempeh. Tempeh is fermented soy. So this is also good for, I know you probably already beat me to the punch, but this is also good for your stomach or gut health. This is very good to add to your list. And then not only that, tempeh is rich in probiotics, but tempeh is actually delicious and making wonderful dishes with tempeh. Seitan is just simply wheat gluten. It means that is high in protein, and it works well for a meat substitute, but it is the name that was given to the gluten that we get from wheat. Okay, so those people that there are people that are allergic to gluten, and they might be they're called celiacs, or um, those people that have other allergies. Just be aware of that because it can make some people sick. Now, there are other plant based alternatives, and these plant based alternatives are great for vegan burgers, sausages, crumbles. Crumbles, you get that in Beyond Meat, the little crumbles, and Impossible, and you also have Guardian. And then we have the jackfruit is really was really popular. It's still popular, but I haven't eaten that with in the mind of is usually used to substitute pork. Yeah. So the seitan and other things that you here we go. Yeah, these are other plant based meat alternatives that you can use. And again, they're vegan burger sausages and their crumbles, along with other. Do you have other substitutes or alternatives for cheese now? You have substitutes for yogurt. You have substitutes for cream, like in your oat milk, and also for your almond milk, real rich and creamy. They make that now for you as a substitute for those other creamy liquids that you can use in your coffee and your tea. Now, whole grains, and when it comes down to whole grains, is really a it's not hard. None of this stuff is hard. It's very easy because you can just simply just allow yourself to experiment and really make a difference in your life. And as you see, that is Sister Babette. She is in her 70s now. She's right in our community. She's a wonderful individual that helps so many people get on the right or go in the right direction when it comes to going vegan. So that's a super important, and I showed you that because look what an example. I mean, she's here, she's alive, she's very fit, and it's just really wonderful to have known her all these years and see all the beautiful things that she's doing for other beautiful people. Whole grains include also brown rice, wild rice, jasmine rice, wahani rice, all of the different types of rice. Now, your whole wheat includes like your wraps and your bagels. I'm not a bagel guy. I've had bagel and cream cheese, vegan style, and that's cool. But I don't eat a lot of all that bread. Is a little bit too much for me. But again, that's why we have varieties. Then we have oats, steel oats, rolled oats, old fashioned oats. This is very good for you as barley, farro, bulgur, and millet. All of these are wonderful sources, along with whole wheat pasta, chickpea pasta, and lentil pasta. I'll give you a few more corn tortillas. And some of the tortillas now they also make them corn tortillas mixed with wheat tortillas. I mean corn and wheat mixed, and then you'll have a real nice soft tortilla. Simply delicious. I'm going to break now, and we can continue talking. But I just want to just check in with Carolyn so that she'll share with us anybody that is leaving any comments, etc.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Let's go through some comments here. Diva D, Reverend Dr. Diva D Coates. Good morning, and and what up, though? What up, though, to you? Hello, hello. Hey, Michelle Franklin, how are you? Uh,
Oh,
yeah, she says, "Hey fam, I miss y'all. The kids don't have any activities today, so I have a free day. What I what I dislike is that everything has sugar in it. Most times, it's hidden through different names, which of which we're not familiar with. That is very true. And they really know how to catch our attention by labeling most. I have to scroll down a little bit. Most foods as low fat or gluten free.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the really, really good points because I think that also it embellishes the point that we made earlier about reading is so important. And I've been eating this way for a long time. I still make mistakes.
Yes.
I've had that pint of ice cream that you rush in and it says natural is for some reason the way that you see it is safe, and you say, all right, great, this is going to be really great. And I've taken the ice cream all the way home that evening or something. I sit back after I've taught a Funkinetics class, and then I'll sit back and I'm like, this is what is this? And then I start to read it. I'm like, and man, I'm like, oh man. And I tell you the truth, I I don't eating the whole thing, but I take me a couple of scoops out before I say so long. Uh, and that's the way it is. You do that and you remember, but that's what I've done in the past, and that keeps me going. And then having looking at people that are in your surroundings. What are they eating? And sometimes they can make real healthy food just seem so good by just eating it and making a good example. And that's why, like when we look at Babette, and then when we look at all those of us that work out, like Michelle and I, we've been working out together for long over 40 years, you know, 40 years. And Michelle can tell you about the times that we went back so far that people used to come into our workout with the clothes that they had on at work. They
Oh,
used to work out. The guys would still have on their boots, like from construction or something. Because later on, I had leg warmers. I can't even imagine that now. But I had the leg warmers. But so did Billy Blanks when he came. Remember, Billy Blanks came out with Tybo, and he had the leg warmers on. That was the day. That
uh-huh.
that was the way it was.
You had to show the community how to dress to
Yeah.
work out,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly. So it was a whole different thing. And I remember the Mooney twins used to call me Black Lane instead of Jack LaLanne. Now that's you're probably too far back for you, Carolyn, because you're a young lady. But this was a Caucasian man that used to come on TV, and he had on these black tights, and he would had his whole program was on exercising and
Oh,
the one and the two and do his thing and he'll do the very simple things. We as black people, we've taken those exercises and you can't even recognize them anymore because we put the funk on the floor.
right.
So, it's a whole different thing, but yeah, he was definitely one of my heroes. I want to say hello to Plant Based with Jen. Plant Based with Jen, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. It makes me feel like being on here even longer when folks are tuning in. But I'm really really thankful for that. Over here, I wanted to show you. You see these juices. These are juices that now I know a lot of people can buy their own juices, but is the closer you get to nature, the healthier you'll be,
That-
and don't overdo it.
Um, are you referring to what's on your PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, let me go ahead and switch that over then.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. So the some of the foods you see that you can make your own stuff is a lot of fun. We're gonna get back to Juicy Fridays, and there's so many things that you can do with these vegan foods, and it doesn't, you don't even have to call them vegan if you're on some kind of so whatever trip that is. But you can just eat. These are different foods that you can eat. You can be full, and you can get a lot done in your life because you've eaten the foods that actually add to your life. Look at all of this. It's like this shows you again. I say this constantly. How do you expect life from dead foods? So there are, you got cucumbers here, you brown rice, you have the squash, and you see there's you got those things that you haven't even used, like the different food processors, and they're in your cabinets. Get those bad boys out, and let's go ahead and share. Okay, so let me get back over here. I wanted to remind you of other things that you can use as you transition to a vegan, and that's the snacks and treats. Like when you go shopping, you need these. These are your go-to snacks: vegan protein bars, rice cakes with nut butter, roasted chickpeas, and lentil chips. I don't The reason these are snacks is because they should only be used momentarily and not a lot of them, okay? Because you can deal, there's a lot of things that trans fats and other potentially carcinogen foods can really wreck your system. Other things, the different beverages, fresh squeezed vegetables, that's what you want, those fresh squeezed vegetables. If I can find that again, that's very important. You want to put that juicer, dust that juicer off, and start making your drinks. And not only would you feel better, you look better too. You look better too. Stop running away from yourself. You got a beautiful body under all that procrastination. So let's start working on that, and you'll be happy. You can thank me later. Uh, Here we go with the baking. You have your baking and your other cooking essentials, like we were talking earlier. Cooking essentials can go under staples also, like your flour. Flour is whole wheat. You got almond flour, you even have coconut flour today, ladies and gentlemen. So that, along with baking powder and baking soda. Uh, you have another go-to would be cacao powder, which is for the chocolatey um, uh, recipes. What else would be really good? Coconut sugar. Now there's a new kind of sugar. I don't want to confuse, but there's other sugars I'll go over. There's a new sugar that is really popular, and it. But we'll today. I just want to talk about the agave, the maple syrup, and coconut sugar. All of these are some of the things that essentials you can use. Vanilla extract and the canned coconut milk. I don't particularly like anything canned because I don't know how long it's been in that can, and I don't want to be putting that stuff in my body if I don't know what it is. Uh, I won't eat until I know what it is. Um, Frozen desserts are the frozen fruit, frozen vegetables, frozen meals, and the dairy-free ice cream and sorbets are really important. And again, I want to put it together for you that just a few tips, and read your labels carefully. Buy your food in bulk. Choose your whole foods. Choose the whole foods over processed foods. Don't. stay away from the refined foods. I'm telling you, you'd be so glad because we have many vegan alternatives. And then you want to shop seasonal and locally. You also want to plan your meals. If you don't plan your meals, you're going to be in that impulsivity mode, and you're going to be, I want to eat anything. I'm hungry, and usually that also leads to overeating. Also, we're going to take a little break here. We're going back up to Carolyn, and Carolyn, what you got?
Ooh, thank you so much, Dr. Zari. I was gonna send over to Instagram because I know as soon as we hit that 1 hour, it shuts off. But anyone that's watching on Instagram, come on over to YouTube. We're almost, through, but getting the rest of the live, catch it on either Facebook if you're following Dr. Zarif, or on YouTube, Dr. Farid Zarif. I like to get that out before that hour. Okay. So great information as always, Dr. Zarif. I have Michelle here. Michelle says, "Oh yeah, we follow your trend, and you made a huge impact in on our lives."
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you so much. And Michelle, I would not be where I am without you. I mean, and literally because there's been so many times that I'm like, Shell, I'm tired of this, or nah, I don't know if I'm going to do this. And Shell would inspire me to keep going, keep going. Shell is my sister. I mean, Shell is my sister. She really looks out for me, and she is a breath of fresh air in keeping us focused, keeping me going, and she lets me know how important it is to her. And she just really gives me that energy, that inspiration to keep going. So thank you so much, Shell. That's on you. You've made that happen and keeping me cracking up. One of the funniest women on the planet too. I mean, she could be a millionaire just being just really funny. But thank you for that, Shell.
There is a comment here again from Michelle saying, "But aren't those pre-prepared plant-based substitutes considered processed foods, which are not good for you if you consume too much?"
That is correct. That is correct. If you consume too much, is well, as far as we know now, no one has gotten sick or some kind of illness from it. If a person sits up and eat 25 burgers in a row, I think that they're going to feel some. But if you are eating, as you said, processed. Now, there's a difference here. I want you to keep. I'm going to get a little picky here. Processed. Again, I like to use the um, idea of the cabbage. We take a head of cabbage and we take a knife and we start cutting it up, strips, and those strips we in small strips, and you put some your different mayo or seasonings and stuff, and you have slaw, and that by itself is processed.
Right.
Process just means to change the way food is from its original state. But there's another word, refine. Refine is when you do more than just change the way it looks or feels or tastes. The refine is when you actually take something from one like corn and you make corn of corn flake. What is that? How do they make a corn flake? See, and then you have like the Cheerios, and you have frosted. Well, frosted flakes, the same thing, but you get the idea. And nobody know what the hell the Captain Crunch is. What is that? It's not a kernel. What I mean, what is that? But people like they make it in sweet, and it gets soggy and crunching, and it's like a dessert, and is definitely refined. So I'm glad that Shell brought that up, because that is definitely true about the foods that we eat. Remember, limit them. I went on a little splurge with the the burgers, like especially Impossible, and I would have that every week. Somewhere in the lineup, I was eating a burger, and or on the weekends when you want to kick back. And I did that just in case somebody think I'm drinking alcohol. That's just in case. That's not it. But it's again, as Cheryl said, the things that these watch the difference between enriched and processed. Now you also have ultra processed. This, of course, you can tell by Ultra that they're processing you to the max. They're changing something where you can't even identify the original, its origination. So, and that happens with a lot of the foods. We have another comment here.
Um, there's a sounded like some feedback. Sorry. It's Diva D says, "I think I'll call you Doctor Life."
Thank you, Diva D is so beautiful. When she gives me like those very kind things that she says, and I've been to Detroit on her show, and she loves helping people. She loves getting this woman. This is the kind of we're friends now. We're family now. But if I were to call her to, yeah, DVD, I'm flying in. I'll be there at 4, and she'll like, all right, I'll be there. You ride, I'm your ride. I'm coming, Or if I want to go on a show, or we want to talk about, planning what we're going to do in the future, whatever it is, she's just ready and always brings the happiness, the big glow, the big smile, and lots of. She's a brilliant woman. As you saw, Dr. Diva D, she's brilliant, and she got all kinds of. I think she got more, um, all kinds of different appreciation or achievement awards, and just a really wonderful woman. That's one of the things that I know that if nothing else, that in helping people to eat better, you really get attracted to or working with people that really care about life itself. So, Dr. Diva D, I appreciate Dr. Life. that's beautiful. Thank you.
There's a comment here from Yolanda at the scroll up. So I apologize. All right, it says here, I'm trying to build my muscles back after my car accident in February. Put me on a cane, but I'm still working out at the gym
Nice.
and getting in the water helps me walk naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, the water is a non-impact. So, you have low, but this is no impact. And that's really, really good. Continue doing that, building up your muscles. You do the same thing that you do with your calisthenics, your squats, touching your toes, up, crossing your body at the top, doing modified jumping jacks. In other words, you don't leap and you don't jump in the jumping jack. You just step to the side, one side at a time, and that's a modified jumping jack. Sitting in a chair, standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. Make sure you got something to hold on to. Raise those legs up. The reverse alternating leg lift, where you have your legs behind you and lifting them up, alternating at the same time. So keep doing that and keep eating the same foods that you just heard me go over. I was talking about the some of the foods that I went over, and I think here I'll show you again. Oh, here we go.
Let me go to PowerPoint.
There we go.
You're showing the juices, correct?
Yes, you see the salad now.
Let me go over to it.
Okay, it's there now, isn't it? Okay, so here, thank you. And here are just some of the things that here's a sister that she's doing some shopping, but look at all of that. That to me, like some people look at of the things that are maybe those things that people have possessions, but this to me is more important. What you put in your body to experience this beautiful. Uh, beautiful life that we have, and to be around beautiful people, man. I miss Shuby like crazy because he was always laughing and smiling and saying something funny, and just what a energy. And I'm so happy that those of us that were lucky enough to be around Shub, oh man, it's just really beautiful. Just to even think about them, I'll move on because I'm real sensitive, man. I'll be done. Um, but here, vegan. Now look at this again. All the different foods, green, and some of the foods you may not even know. But these are this. The idea is to surround yourself with food. Okay, the healthy foods. All right. I want to finish up by saying that some of your staples, remember: beans, whole grains, pastas, canned tomatoes, plant based milk, nut butters. You have nutritional yeast, oils, flour, all of those different things, snacks. Popcorn, energy bars, what else? Your frozen desserts, frozen fruit, and roasted chickpeas. Stay away from stuff like chips and the Fritos and those little cheese puffs and all those kinds of things. Those were made with they're definitely refined. And remember the difference in uh, the difference in what is how they're defined, but it's definitely important for you to um, get as much knowledge as you can, put it in motion, stop BSing with yourself about what you're gonna do and when you gonna start and all that, and you don't ever do it. Get up and just do it right in your home. Get it if you can afford it. Get somebody to make sure that you have to meet him or her every week. Get your exercise on. I'm telling you, it will make a big difference. A person can be walking one moment and cripple the next. A person can go through so many things, all the different types of arthritis, rheumatism, the different types of disease, the lupus, the different diseases like obesity, and even just simple things like headaches and yeah, osteoarthritis and Graves' disease, and it goes on and on and on. So you can really help yourself a lot by not eating those things that are refined and ultra processed, but those things, again, the closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be. Remember that. Okay. I'm going to go back up to Carolyn, and thank you very much, everybody, for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. I was looking at the plate of fruit that you had just now, like, ooh, is that mangoes?
Uh,
I love me some mangoes.
yeah.
But thank you so much. Like everyone is saying, great topic today. Thank you so much for everyone that joined us here in the Mind of Nature. Please make sure you've taken notes. This is always on. It'll live on the YouTube channel. So if there's anything that you missed, you can always go back, take notes. Make sure to share. Make sure you're sharing with other people as well, just so they can be a part of the conversation. Dr. Zarif, you know, those that know him, he's been doing this for a long time. Okay, he's been doing this for a long time, so he knows what he's talking about when he's telling us to do these certain things. So please make sure that you're taking the information in and you're using it. To those that that's using it, yes, thank you guys so much, and just get the word out, okay? Thank you so much, Diva D. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We live stream every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Live stream on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. So thank you all so much for joining me, doctors, or joining us. Dr. Zarif, back to you.
Thank you so much, everybody. And I want to give a shout out to my family. You know who you are. And I also want to say thank you very much, Carolyn, for being there. Hey, making this thing go. We know that it's very difficult to swallow the idea that you can be healthier eating better. We know how hard that is. We know how hard it is for you to get up and make your legs move and your arms move and breathe a little heavier and jogging in place. We know that that can't be fun all the time. We know also that when you are changing, that is very difficult to be around people that refuse to change. And look at it, take your time, and just think about where are you getting your ideas from to continue eating in a way that may be hurting you down the line. And then once you discover what that is, then you make some changes. This is your life. This is up to you. And this is something that you can do right now. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.